Hey, what's up, guys? It's the
Guises?
Yeah,
The Guises?
It's the pre-post after show of the E3 this weekend.
That we will not be discussing this time. If you do want us to discuss E3, however, hit us up on Twitter and or our SoundCloud. We'll like touch base on it, but like we're not gonna go too in depth. We'll make fun of Xbox and their shitty marketing.
Oh God! I want to throw them under the bus. Holy!
Throw everyone under the bus.
Yeah.
Well, hey, they at least can say they have the best system coming out. They can get thrown under the bus for their shitty marketing.
We should rename this whole thing to just the Under the Bus podcast.
The
whole theme is we just throw everyone and anyone under the bus for our own gains.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how many of my notes have people thrown under the bus. Oh, all of them.
All of them.
Listen carefully. You can hear it driving by.
There's one bus. We have everyone all out in a line.
The terrible distant screams of the Xbox marketing division. Oh, it's music to my ears. Goodness. Yeah, but I'll touch base on some of that stuff, I guess.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that. We got a couple odd topics. Mac went to Seattle for the Blue Jays game, like a failure. They lost their one game. I was happy about it. I said they would lose it, and they lost it.
Yeah.
1 out of 3.
I have godlike powers.
They win 2 out of 3. Not bad. Not terrible.
Okay.
So, yeah, it still sucks. So
how was it, anyways?
It was good. It was a fun time. Yeah, like obviously, there's a lot of fans in the BC and Alberta area, and Seattle's a lot closer to the border than I thought it was. It's only like 2 hours south.
That's not bad.
So like what I actually did is I flew into Abbotsford, which is pretty much right on the border, and it took like 2.5 hours to get to Seattle.
Okay.
So it's like I could see why people from this area go to Minnesota, but that's 8 hours away, and I can see why there is drastically easier to go to.
So you just flew from Canadian site to Canadian site and then drove?
Yeah.
Whatever? Okay. So you didn't have to deal with American TSA stuff?
No, like they pretty much were.
His beard's not big enough. You'll
Yeah.
get randomly checked.
Well, I was just going to ask, how clean did they grade your butthole? Like when
they gave it an A+.
Yeah.
No, they
He didn't quite get that S star.
No, yeah, they didn't get the S grade. Yeah, double S is what they give some other people in front of me. Yeah, like the customs.
The S stands for shiny clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, double S means just came from enema.
Yeah. Like the amount of custom was pretty simple. It was like we just brought a carry-on because I was only gone for 2 days.
Okay.
So we didn't have check bags or anything. But anyway, on Friday it was probably half and half Blue Jays fans and Seattle fans, but Saturday seemed like it was like 2-1 Blue Jays to Seattle.
Okay.
And then it was fine because then the home crowd gets really defensive about it and also when people are on vacation they get drunker and they're more belligerent and stuff like that. So then they start yelling at each other and stuff. Like the one game I went to, the row behind us was like drunk Blue Jays fans, and then a couple rows in front of us were drunk Seattle fans, and they were just yelling at each other and having a jolly good time. And
I don't like sports, man.
Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. Like the one went to 2 games. The other one was a lot better, for that regard. But like, the one was bad where the guy behind me probably spilled like 4 drinks. Not on me, but
and that's
like
expensive beer
that,
too.
It's like
you could buy $10 for a cup, man.
Yeah, like you can get like those king cans, like bigger than the monster drink you got for like $12.
Yeah, 7-10 mil. Yeah.
Yeah, and like those are 2 of those, and you're having a good time, or a couple of those, and then or you're starting to feel it. But anyway, yeah, it was entertaining listening to them yell at each other. But the one guy was just like yelling at anyone who came in yelling at any player who was in the vicinity of him.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
That's why honestly
you suck. I don't know why, but you do.
Yeah, he was yelling at the third base coach for an inning, so that was fun. But
hey, coach.
But the best.
Shut up.
But the best part was they had like. In the middle of the game, like in between innings, they played a Backstreet Boys song. I forget which one it was, and they just started ripping it out, and they were going to town on it, and it was hilarious because I was like, I forget which one it was. It was one of their. It's not Backstreet Back. I'm trying to remember what. I Want It That Way. I think it was.
Okay.
And then they knew every line, and I was like, I know most of it, but I'm not that drunk to just.
I'm not gonna just belt this out.
Yeah, it's like if I had a couple more King cans, then maybe I'll start singing. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
So did they have for sale at the game? Because like I've seen this online on Facebook a bunch. There's these new cups coming out They're the top half of like a baseball bat, like that top chunk of it. Yeah, the barrel of it, but like they clear out the center of it so it's a cup, and they fill that up with beer and stuff like that.
Not that I've never seen that.
Oh, I was looking at it. And I know you're a big baseball fan, and my first thought was like, man, I wonder if he would drink out of that.
It's just like a standard German beer cup from the thought of it, like
it basically is. Like it's just like with a beer, like with a baseball bat look to it, and I think they have teams on them.
Or like the Mexican margarita cups the ones that are like 3 feet high
and like super thin in the stem, but like the top is really big. And
they have like a base that's pretty big and this top that's pretty big, and then
the middle is just
the neck is just like an inch or two wide.
Yeah, they're like it's gonna look like you have a big drink. You're getting 2 sips out of this.
Yeah, it'd be like. Yeah, 1 sip and it's a quarter gone. No, those things I should carry these now.
Yeah, they're actually not bad.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. But one thing I wanted to say, you know how like weed's legal there, and then they're all like,
oh, is it?
Yeah, it's legal in Washington State.
Oh my goodness!
And
I'm not up to date with this.
Washington has this.
Yeah, so state, not DC. If that's okay, I thought that's what you were implying.
Oh no! If it was Washington DC, I would just expect all of America at that point to just be like, I'm pretty certain it's good.
Okay, I thought that's what you were going with.
No.
No, the word is the same, therefore it's the same place.
Yes,
exactly. You gotta emphasize the Washington.
That's why we have part of the EU inside Canada. So we're in Ontario.
Yeah, London.
London, Ontario.
Yeah, wait,
Brexit affects us, man.
We need to know. Yeah, so where everyone was talking, it's like, oh, they got all this extra tax dollars because of all the taxing done on the marijuana selling. And then, I'm not going to exaggerate, that was by far the worst highways I've ever driven on in the States. Like, everywhere else, it is head and shoulders better than Canada. That I've been to. I've been to like probably like 10, 15 states.
I just like that. Head and shoulders better.
It is drastically better. And then this one was on par or below average. And I was like, what is with this? Like,
you know why I use the word head and shoulders better?
Because evolution?
No.
Actually, he's got a point.
It's proof that evolution isn't true. That all these people...
in Washington... Good source of potassium or whatever element they...
All these people in Washington are so high that when they're driving, they're slouching in their cars. So everywhere else, they're technically a full head and shoulders higher than the drivers in Washington.
Yeah. No, not quite. But it was just weird to me that it was just... Like, I've come to a standard where it's like, Canada highways are down here, and American highways are up here.
Yep. Wait till you go to the Dominican, man. Canada's going to get pretty high up there.
I've been to other countries that are not as rich, and they're lower down, not floor down.
Floor down.
Yeah, lower down. But the state, I was just like, it was so weird to me that it was at that level, and then the traffic was insane. Like, we drove outside of the city at like 11 o'clock after a game. And the traffic going into the city on a Friday night at 11 was bumper to bumper, like 10 miles out of town. And
Who the fuck wants to get into Seattle that bad at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how people survive or tolerate this, but that would be terrible to live in. I think
that's just different for us compared to them, though. I think they just have more traffic. I've been to
in general other major cities, and none were near as bad. Or that I like.
Well, nobody likes Seattle.
Well, apparently people want to go in there.
Exactly, because nobody likes.
Yeah.
I just realized we didn't fucking introduce ourselves.
We don't need to always introduce ourselves.
We do though. That's proper. That's professional formatting. We should. Yeah,
we are 8 minutes in, and we have to. Or I am Mac. We got Brendan over there.
Over there, as you're pointing, and they can't see shit.
On my left, visualize it. He is on my left.
I'm about at 10 o'clock from Mac right now.
Yeah, and then Adrien
is like a triangle pattern.
Adrien is like at 2 o'clock, maybe 1.5, 1:30 maybe.
He covers about 2.5 hours, man.
No, but like it's normal for us to do that anyways, because usually we have banter and then we just throw the title in whenever we get a chance. Usually it's sooner than 8 minutes, but it's not a big deal.
Well, if you know a Tom, fool him, because that's where we're at right now. So.
Yeah.
Huzzah! That's what you're here for. Those sick jokes. Come back, man. Every week I got more of them.
No, you don't. Shut up.
Throw yourself under the bus.
Yeah, throw yourself. Yeah, no, tomfoolery episode 9 now.
9.
We've almost hit 10 episodes.
Almost.
Yeah, so I think we've recorded about 10 hours, roughly. So
no, I think we're more than that.
They must be sick of us.
Roughly about that. Actually, we're not doing too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I guarantee.
Twitter's dead, and so is our like messages in SoundCloud. Yeah. But like we're like We're not the worst. We got like a good solid like 5-6.
I'm keenly anticipating the day someone tells me to go die. I'm looking forward to it.
He's waiting for like the negative response. I'm waiting for like the one person to like throw a topic idea out just so like we can like talk about something that other than us come up with.
I'm waiting for someone to make me feel bad and just never come back again. Or be like, this podcast is shut down. Yeah. We're done.
Yeah, we're shutting it down. One bad comment. We're out. Fuck it all.
Yeah. The one guy made me feel sad, therefore I'm out. You guys make it on your own.
Well, since you were bringing up weed and everything, when I was getting high recently, I watched my React videos and they did Lil Dicky. I showed you guys the video before we started.
Yeah.
But context for everybody else, Lil Dicky is a rapper that's kind of more up and coming from what I understand.
He's up and coming?
He's actually up and coming, yeah. Like, one of my favorite videos of his...
That 10-minute high-quality CG integrated video.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like,
coming.
actually, I'll... if you ever look into his other videos, Professional Rapper, he makes a joke. He like, it's with Snoop Dogg in it. And then it's like, how are you going to get this started? Oh, with my bar mitzvah money, is what he says. Okay. As a joke. So, like, and then, like... Because from what I've gathered, he had like an actual career before this. Like he went to school to become I think something to do with technology, and then from there he just kind of like left it and went, I'm gonna be a rapper, and just chose to. And then like he's not doing too bad. I like quite a bit of his things. He is more of the dirty side, of course. But with Pillow Talking, the video I showed you guys, when he brings up if aliens invaded Earth, like what would we do? How would we handle that? Like, and that thought kind of stemmed a couple ideas for me. First of all, why is it that every time we picture an alien, we automatically have to make them look really fucked up and like completely out of this world? Why can't we make them look like slightly different than us? Who says they have to look like backcrap nines?
I think it's more the opposite, where most of the time when we see aliens, they're humanoid.
Yeah. I think that's by far the farthest they'd ever look. We wouldn't be able to comprehend what they look like. Yeah, where it's
like the ones in the video, they had arms, legs, torso, and a head with an oblong head. No, and it's like, why aren't they like...
I'm not talking specifically his video. I'm talking in
like in general, like most of the time they are humanoid.
In a sense, but I mean, like, why do they always have to have like some like strange out of nowhere color or like extra limbs or antennas or all these other like fucking extremities?
We have no idea what they look. They could literally be anything.
Right. No, and I get that. But why does it always have to be to, like, some extreme? Like, because we have, like, buddy movies with aliens and stuff. Look at E.T. Like, yeah, it doesn't start out that way. Like, it's a little bit more of a scare factor. But, like, E.T. doesn't look too frightening or anything. But he looks pretty fucked up. And I get the whole idea is he's supposed to look different and out of this world, which brings the whole idea behind it. But why do they always have to do that?
But my point is, like, E.T., 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, and a head.
Yeah.
And most aliens have 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, and a head.
But that goes for almost any creature and anything. That's just generically easy to put. Like, when it comes to movie iterations and stuff, it's a lot easier to make them look more humanoid for costume purposes.
Are you saying they shouldn't look humanoid, or they should look more humanoid? And why? I'm
saying more so, like I'm okay with, like, the spectrums, because, like, you have the alien movies where they look like fucking dogs.
We're putting aliens on the spectrum now, hey?
I'm throwing... I'm talking about...
We're throwing aliens under the bus!
I'm throwing any sci-fi idea. Look at Star Trek. They have humanoid-looking people. People who don't look that weird. They have little deformations and stuff, but that's my point, is...
Pointy ears and shit.
Yeah, pointy ears. Like, look at Spock. He's basically the exact same thing. I also understand Spock's ancestry is he's part human, so that's a bit different.
Well, and also, it's for an acting role where you want a human to be able to act it. You're not going to have a tentacle monster and then have
But, like, that's my point, though, is they do put out movies with tentacle monsters and stuff like that, but, like, who says that's necessarily going to be the case? I like the idea of them being more humanoid, and it sucks that Star Trek tends to be where you see it most. And, like, yes, I get 2 arms, 2 legs is a general idea, but like that's just because our common conception of somebody walking around like another life form is going to be on 2 feet, 2 legs. You're not going to picture them like a centaur because that's not exactly something you would think. You're going to picture them similar in a sense, but still to the top 9s where they look completely different. That they're not from here.
I think they'll look like a bird person from
I think
Rick and Morty.
They wouldn't look anything like what we'd expect.
No, I don't think so either. No. They'll all of a sudden be like. It'll be like in Futurama where they have like the amoeba person or like the one who's just like a big element.
That garage door could be a fucking alien for all I know. That's what they could look like.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly
they could look like a tree.
Yeah. I know, but
like my point walking around there.
They always do that, but why do they always also like this is also a factor? Why do they always assume that they're gonna have like lasers and all, like be so much more technologically advanced than us.
Because
Ones that are more primitive than us.
Because it's relatable to the common viewer. If you're asking why, like, an example like Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry made them look like, humans with pointy ears and stuff, is because it was fucking cheap. You look at, like, the original series, and they did whatever they could get away with.
Which is fine, but, like, my point is, though, is, like, that just seems more believable.
Oh, it's absolutely the opposite of that, to be honest.
To me, it seems more believable that an alien species would be more similar to us. Yes, it might be the same kind of idea, like, if you find, like, a different culture, where their language might be different or something like that. So, yeah, that I kind of expect to be different. But, like, I don't expect to, like, go over somewhere I've never been and expect them to have, like, an extra leg or, like, something along, like, an extra extremity of sorts.
Who's to say they would have a physical, solid form, even?
That's exactly my point. Like, it could be literally anything.
It could be a goo monster.
Yeah. It could even be a boat!
Yeah.
We could find a planet that was composed entirely of rare main characters, and I would be like, yeah, well, that's possible.
It's very true.
Yeah. But your thing with, like, primitive technology is...
Actually, I was coming back to that anyway.
Yeah, anyway, but, like, the reason we think they have more technology than us is they're able to travel from their planet to our planet, where we're not able to travel from our planet to their planet. Therefore, they must have more technological advances because they're able to make that trip. So therefore,
see, but in that idea, like, for cinematic purposes, yes, I get, like, they're gonna stretch that story a bit more. Yes. But we've made it to Mars, like, we've, like, gone to the moon, we've gone all these places and, like, landed there and stuff, and come back.
Moon is the only place we've landed.
No, we haven't, because Kubrick orchestrated that whole thing. The moon landing's fake, I tell you.
Oh my god.
Throw those moon landers under the bus!
The entire
Apollo, get your shit out of here!
But that's 2001: A Space Odyssey was an admission by Kubrick that he faked that whole thing.
Oh my god.
Did you see how on that one photograph it looked like there was two light sources? Mm-hmm. There were not two suns, therefore fake!
The flag was waving in the wind. They forgot a fan was cooling their actors, damn it.
Anyways, but no, like, we've gone to the moon. We've placed rovers on Mars. It's not like we couldn't actually we can travel to another place. It's just our odds of coming back are a lot slimmer. And that's I know, like, I don't know, I'm not a huge, like, scientific guy here who's like, I know rocket science, so, like, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than I know. So, yes, this is a very vague disclaimer, specifically for this, because I know I'm probably going to come off like a bit of an idiot.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think at this point we could make a man-made, or a capsule for a person to travel to Mars at this point, today. If it was a suicide mission, be like, maybe if it was like, this world is going to end, we are going to spend a year making sure, to the best of our ability, we are putting everything we need into this, then in a year we could be able to do it. But, like, tomorrow we do not have or today we do not have to make it to Mars.
But, like, that's just it. When, like, I understand that, like, but, like, there's also stuff that we don't know about it. Like, I'm pretty certain you don't know every single spaceship launch they've ever done and how many tests they've done, or if they've even sent people other places and just haven't mentioned it because it just ended up awry and they don't want people knowing about it.
Like the entire Russian space program trying to get to the moon.
Shh, we don't discuss this.
Yeah.
I saw that movie. It was fucking bad.
What movie?
It was like Apollo 18.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
No. There was a movie that came out recently. It was called Apollo 18, something like that. It was okay. It wasn't recently. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, is that one where there's like spider monsters?
Yeah, like that are in rocks or whatever.
That's fucking.
The whole thing about that was Russia made it there first.
So fucking.
That was like their big thing. Russia made it to the moon first, but they found these things and died by them first, and then.
Well, I saw Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. Or whatever that one was called.
God damn. Can we talk about how fucking dumb that movie is for a second?
Transformers?
No. Apollo, whatever the fuck.
I
dumb
was
spider
like 18
monsters.
or something.
Yeah, Apollo 18 or something.
Okay, they could have done fucking anything.
Apollo 13 is a much better movie.
They could have done like weird microbial disease monsters that kill these guys from the inside out. They just went with fucking rock spiders.
Yeah.
Like, that is the dumbest fucking thing. They just looked at a barn spider on the wall when they were writing the goddamn script for this thing, but like, that's spooky. And then they wrote that in. And
well, see, like,
and it's sold.
See, no, like, the idea behind it I kind of liked because, like, the premise was they were going there for moon rocks, but, like, the spiders kind of made a home out of the rock. So that's where it kind of, like, the idea of like why they were collecting them, I liked. Like they were going there for a purpose, and it just turned out that the rocks were like gonna fuck them over. But like they could have done literally anything else other than spiders, and it probably would have been better.
Yeah. They just had to be fucking spiders, though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Goddamn.
On the next planet, there were snake monsters.
Yeah, on Mars. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, snake monsters. You know what they came out of? The sand.
Yeah. Terrifying geckos.
Yeah.
They're colored red with big beady red eyes.
No. You go to Mars.
We'll send out
Tremors all over again.
We'll send out a trailer with lots of jump scare noises, and people will fucking buy it. They'll do it. They'll come see it.
Hey, shut up! That
Bank on it. We'll
they
get
actually
Blumhouse
sell
to
a lot
make
of
it.
tickets with that shit.
We'll get Blumhouse Productions to make it on a budget of $20 million. We'll make back fivefold. Make it, ship it.
Yeah. Put it in a movie.
We'll sell the trailers next to Avengers. We'll persuade Marvel. I know I'm going with that.
Speaking of actually, random Marvel update. Chris Evans is done come 2019 with the final with Avengers 4. When
Cool.
it comes out. Yeah.
Are they actually gonna kill a fucking main character?
No, he's probably gonna go.
Actually, no.
Go to the
the idea
barn.
is the thought is they're gonna kill him off and they're gonna pass off the mantle to either I think it's Black Falcon, right? Or just Falcon, they call him in this?
Black Falcon.
No, in the cartoons, in the comics, he's called Black Falcon, but in the movie they call him Falcon. You can't discriminate by race.
You can't point out the color of the character. It's racist now.
Yeah, it's a whole racist thing. Why do you think it's just called the new Panther movie coming out?
It's called African American Falcon. Thank you.
Anyways, yeah, him or the Winter Soldier get it, because in the comics, those are the two iterations that happen.
Yeah.
Is either Bucky Barnes takes over the mantle, or and then Falcon takes over.
Nope. Captain America's
that's the
just gonna
idea.
go to the farm and have a good time.
The farm.
Yeah.
Whoosh whoosh the farm. He's gonna live out his days happy on the farm.
That's what they tell Tony Stark.
Big wide-eyed Tony. He's not dead. He's at the farm.
He's running free every day. Jarvis, you wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Actually, speaking of stupid movies, I went and saw Pirates yesterday.
Oh God.
The new Pirates movie.
How much does what's his name, Johnny Depp, look like he's not giving a fuck anymore?
Since like the like a good chunk of the movie is like just trying to find him.
God.
Yeah, like the premise behind it, like they actually wrapped it all together. So like the original two people, like William and the chick, that go with
Keira Knightley.
Yeah, her.
God, she's hot. Holy smoke.
I always confuse.
Not bad.
I always confuse her and Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's the whole point that Keira Knightley is famous. Is she was Natalie Portman's body double in the first Star Wars prequel.
Oh, that was seriously it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, look at that. Anyways, so watching it, them two have a kid, right? And that kid's trying to get Will Turner off the, what was it, like the Jolly Roger, whatever the fuck it was?
I've only seen the first two.
Well, I know. On the second one, he gambles with Davy Jones and he gets stuck on the boat.
The Barnacle Man?
Yes, the Barnacle Man. So, he gets trapped on the Barnacle Man's boat. So, the beginning of the movie starts with the kid getting on the Barnacle Man's boat to try and be like, I know how to save you, I just gotta find Poseidon's trident, blah, 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 blah. And, like, his dad's like, no, fuck off, get out of here. So, he spends his entire life trying to find it. And then, he magically meets up with some other chick who is also trying to find it. So, them together meet up, and it's, hey, we gotta find this pirate guy, because apparently, you know, he can help. So then they spend their entire time trying to find Johnny Depp. Then they find Johnny Depp. Then it's like this whole fucking makeshift thing to try and get there, and of course, you know what they do, they throw like little plot holes and all the fucking thing. At the end, this is how they end the entire series, because this is their final movie. They're done with the Pirates series.
Spoiler.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even care if I spoil this, because like if anybody sees this, they'll know how bad it is. They ended by breaking the spear, or the Poseidon's trident, which breaks every curse of the ocean. So, Will's off his boat. You know, like, all the dead people that were running on water and shit at the beginning of the movie, no longer dead, no longer running water, and just drowning.
Does that mean Barbossa's dead?
Barbossa's in the movie. There is a big spoiler that happens with him, because it turns out the girl that the guy meets is his daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, that he gave up because he didn't want her to go down that lifestyle, and of course he meets her, and then of course sacrifices himself for her to show her that he is the father she always wanted, and then dies.
We couldn't have a new character that wasn't somehow related to
exactly
an
right
existing problem.
And that's the whole thing. And then literally the ending shot is Will Turner getting off that boat, running up to Keira Knightley to kiss her, and then their kid with Barbossa's daughter, and they kiss, and
it's
he
Elizabeth
goes,
Swan.
That's it.
I can't believe I remember that.
I don't even care. And then like Barbossa's daughter and Will's kid kind of look, and he's like, so, because her name was Smith at the time.
Will as a kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been.
Like
that was the first thing I said.
No,
He's like the boy in the new movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will and Keira Knightley had a kid. Their kid went to find Will on the boat, on the Barnacle Man's boat. I went over this.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was in the second movie. I'm like, I might not remember that.
No. He gambled to be on the Barnacle Man's boat in the second movie.
Oh.
This movie just brings it back to that, so you know where he was. So that's why he was missing in the third movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
The third movie was also shit. Don't even get me started on that one.
You're like slinging a lattice of like inter-character relationships, and it's like flying way over my head.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking gladiator net full of like character family trees, and it just like whoosh right past me.
Okay, so Will Turner and Keira Knightley. So Elizabeth Swann have a kid. That kid, I don't remember his name.
How about we skip that and we just go straight to the fucking summary of the goddamn movie?
It's bad.
It's bad, I bet.
It's awful. There, basically, me trying to explain it to you is as confusing as the entire fucking story.
How many drinks in is Johnny Depp during the whole filming? Like
37. 37, and that's the first shot.
I would fucking I would cut my neck open and put a tube of alcohol in it if, like, at the end of the movie, Johnny Depp says, "We truly are the pirates of the Caribbean." And then
he sails off on his boat, though.
And then they turn, and then they jump in the air, and it freeze frames to, like, 80s pop rock, and the credits start rolling.
They actually ended it in a way that if they decide to ever come back to it, they could.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing.
No, they should do it where it's like, we are the Pirates of the Caribbean, Spike Lens, and then they all jump, yeah!
Yep.
It's like Babysitter's Club or whatever, one of those type of movies,
Yep.
80s ridiculous things where it's just like
it's raining again.
crazy pop music to...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 80s pop rock, it'd be like freeze frame. Banana, 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 you know, like just credits start scrolling up. Oh, I'd love it. And like the freeze frame starts to saturate more as the credits go on.
Seriously, the only thought I'm getting when you're describing this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. What was it, like something of the Ooze, Secret of the Ooze, like the original live action back in the day, because they ended off with I think it was like MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice. One of the
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, it was Vanilla Ice, and he was singing Go Ninja Go or whatever the hell it was at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they ended off with that too, where it was like, yeah, they all jump, and then the credits are going up, but the song keeps playing.
But that was 80s or early 90s.
That happened in the 80s.
That's what I'm reminding you of.
I'm saying where it's like, it's different where it's from the 80s, but like, even like...
Oh, I know, but I was just saying, I remember, like that's my first fondest memory of seeing something like that.
Like Anchorman, the original Anchorman has, they end like that.
They have a spot with it where
they have a spot where they don't end with it, but it's like,
yeah, because
but they're doing it like as an homage to those times.
We need more 80s revival movies, man. Like, you know, not even like new RoboCop. We need like new Dredd style properties of like old 80s stuff. But like,
so basically what Michael Myers did with Austin Powers, where he wanted to make fun of the spy era, and he made Austin Powers.
Yeah, like people who go to see it seriously could get a walk away happy with it, but people who are like big on 80s cliches could walk away just laughing up a riot at it, like and how serious it took itself. That'd be so good.
Actually,
we need
see,
a
this
new,
is it. We could write a movie about this shit. We just gotta listen to all of our podcasts and like little tidbits of things we say should be in movies. Just throw it in and just call it the mashup.
Like when they
see what happens.
When they remake Point Break, have like
they already remade Point Break.
Isn't it a TV show?
No. It might have been, but they did make a remake.
They already
No. I'm thinking of Total Recall or some shit like that. No.
Total Recall is also a movie.
Yeah.
But apparently they're saying
there's
the new Point Break was just atrocious. Point Break was a good movie. Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, whatever his character's name was.
I wanted like.
Right, that's Point Break. Yeah, the original was good. Didn't even see the second one. That one's done.
Yeah.
They're saying like, I heard the other day that like, you know, like the ending scene where they have the fight, or Johnny Utah and Patrick Swayze's character have like the fight on the beach, and then Patrick Swayze goes surfs the like huge wave. They don't even like have that fight. They just like talk, and then Patrick Swayze just like wades into the water and goes.
I want a Point Break remake where instead of surfing, they replace it with like the scooters that kids are riding these days.
They should replace it with
fast cars.
I was gonna make that point.
Yeah.
No, fast cars and turn it into Fast and the Furious. Oh my God! Somebody did that.
They're surfing on top of Ferraris. Like they're on the highway and there's like weird Cuban people driving the Ferraris while like Johnny Utah and Patrick Swayze.
They need to remake it with when they're only driving fast cars, and then they steal DVD players instead of robbing banks. And then Vin Diesel's in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wait, somebody did that. Damn
15
it!
years too late.
The Rock shows up in his 35th movie of the year, and he shows up going the other way on a Ferrari, and he fucking grabs the other ones and flips them with his arms as he drives by. And then he goes straight into the next Fast movie.
Yeah, just right through the screen, and just shows up in the next movie, comes out of the screen, and
it's literally they're playing both movies side by side, and that scene happens, and like you have to run from theater to theater to catch the scene.
No, you're watching the Point Break remake, and like over in the next theater over, they only run these movies at the same time. If you listen carefully, a really loud Ferrari can be heard from the theater adjacent to you to the right. It's just this really loud muffled.
Then he just comes in from the left side of the screen, does a huge power slide there, and it just.
And he flexes off, casts off both of his arms.
Yeah, because he broke his arms for no reason. He was just surfing and his arms broke.
Yeah, like he flipped the cars and he broke both his arms, but by the time he makes it into the theater screen next over, he's already fully casted up and flexing out mid fucking screen transfer.
I have like a Last Action Hero type scene thinking of that, where it's like, yeah, we need Last Action Hero, another version of something like that.
Yeah, I agree, actually, that was good.
That we need some classic Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s movies. That actually might have been 90s.
See, the whole thought with the whole Point Break with surfing on Ferraris, my only thought is like that big wave that he goes into at the end of the movie, instead of it being like a big wave on the streets, he's just going through like...
He goes off an F1 car.
Yeah, an F1 car, but no. It's the running of the bulls that he has to go through.
Oh, man.
Just to like make it seem like something like no one would survive, because as soon as you hit a bull, you'd be dead.
Oh, yeah. End up on like the internet, on like really seedy fucking sites that host ISIS videos and shit.
What the fuck is with you going to ISIS with everything?
Be like title like Point Break ending 2017. You know, it starts off with like fucking... Yeah, alright, I'm gonna get away from that. I'm already going down too far the ISIS hole here.
Once I get started, I just can't stop.
I'm gonna keep going and start divulging websites that I frequent that I shouldn't be telling people about.
Pornhub, YouPorn.
Oh, that's some. What is this vanilla shit you're spouting at me?
I have no fucking. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Reddit 1, Reddit 2.
I'm not gonna divulge these sites to you guys.
That's fine.
You guys are you'd melt like the guy from Last Crusade.
Not you.
You chose poorly.
I love the Family Guy episode of that, like, for the joke. Like, the one guy's like, it's the one that's all the jewels and everything. He drinks it and dies. And then, like, Peter picks this one up. It's like, why'd you pick it? That was, like, the one that's a mug and says, I heard Jesus on it. I kind of figured, you know? Yeah. It's just so super lame. It's like, what the fuck?
The best part of that movie, though, is when Sean Connery and Indy are in the plane, and then Sean Connery's on the gunner seat, and he shoots out their own tail, and he's like, we've been hit! And just... The way, just perfect, Sean Connery. Because they're being shot at, and then he's shooting at them, and then tries to go from one side to the other and just shoots out their own tail. And then it's just like, we've been hit, and then, no, we're going down.
Hey, I got one for you guys. What time does Sean Connery show up to Wimbledon at?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't know.
10ish.
Whack.
I heard this really bad joke the other day too. I figured I'd tell you guys this. I thought it was really dumb.
Tell the world this.
So three guys are adventuring around in a cave. They're looking around. They find a genie lamp.
Genie in a bottle.
I'm a genie in a bottle.
They find Robin Williams in a bottle somewhere, and they rub him, and he comes out and he says, each of you have 3 wishes. Now tell me what you want. So the first guy, he says, I want $1 million. And bam, the genie poofs him in existence his bank statement, and it says he's got $1,000,010. You know, he's rich now. And
he had that 10 cents before though.
The second guy goes, I want to be the richest man in the world. So the genie poofs him his bank statement, and he's got $100 million, or $100 billion, I should say. Sorry, he's richer than the first guy. Third guy says, I want my left arm to rotate clockwise for the rest of my life. And then, poof, genie starts making his left arm rotate clockwise. And that's what he gets. So genie says, all right, now your second wish, gentlemen. What do you want? The first guy says, I want to be married to the most beautiful woman in the world. And the genie poofs him in existence this gorgeous,
I think
beautiful,
I see how this is going.
This gorgeous, beautiful woman, and her and the first guy start immediately hitting off. The second guy says, "I want to be the most attractive man on the planet, with the most charisma ever." Genie poofs. He gets slightly more attractive looking, and the girl the first guy wished in starts immediately flirting with him because he's more attractive. Third guy says, "I want my right arm to rotate counterclockwise for the rest of my life." Poof, the genie starts making his arm rotate the other way. So he's doing that windmill move kids do when they're younger.
You can't get near me.
You mean the Simpsons thing where it's like, I'm going to be swinging my arms in the air, and if I hit you, it's not my fault.
So the genie says, "Granted. Now your third wish, gentlemen." The first guy says, "I want to live a comfortable life for the rest of my life and never have any problems." Boof, genie says it's done. "Have a good life, sir." Second guy says, "I wish to be forever 25 years old and never have to die." And the genie says, poof. So the guy becomes younger a little bit, and all his health problems immediately disappear. Third guy says, "I want my head to nod back and forth slowly for the rest of my life." Genie says, poof, and the guy's head starts to go back and forth. So the guys disperse. They live comfortable lives. The first guy, he comes back, and all three of them meet. They start catching up. The first guy says, "I invested my $1 billion. My family is as rich as possible. We're never gonna have a problem ever again. My family's gonna be set." Second guy says, "It's amazing. I'm still 25. I slept with as many women as I can get a hold of, and my riches are vast as my empire." Third guy comes up, head still bobbing, arms still moving, says, "Guys, I think I fucked up." That's some dumb fucking joke.
I was really expecting the last guy to be like, "I wish I could trade wishes with them." You know? Just to screw them all. I thought it would fit right under the throw everybody under the bus motif.
I fucking sighed hard at that. I thought it was the dumbest.
Well, that's a lot like, actually, Mac, I think it was you. You had like a big joke book back in the day I borrowed once.
I think I did.
Yeah, I borrowed it once or twice, and there was like a couple funny blonde jokes, and one was similar to that. It's like, they find a lamp. It was a blonde brunette and redhead, and like the redhead's like, "I wish I was with my friends and family." Poof, she's gone. And then the redhead's the same thing. Poof, she's gone. And then the blonde sits there and goes, "Man, I wish my friends were still here." Son of a bitch! So who got killed that day? Blondie.
So because our friend DSL isn't here, I wanted to touch a little bit on E3 stuff, if you've caught any.
Well, I've caught a bit. Like, I worked a lot this weekend. Like, I worked a full 11 to 11 on Saturday. So, like, I didn't catch anything of it. DSL's tagged me in a couple things.
Yeah.
But, like, I saw some footage for the new Spider-Man game for the PlayStation. That looks pretty cool. Like, but, like, I think that's also my thrill of the new movie coming out. Because, like, I'm really big on that. Like, when I saw Batman vs. Superman, I wanted to play
They're coming out with a new movie?
Yeah. Homecoming that comes out next month.
Oh, sorry. I thought, like, for a second, I thought you were talking about, like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
No!
I was like, really? They're doing a third?
Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti as Rhino. Oh, that was such a stupid idea. They gave him such a huge suit. That's not Rhino.
Joe, it's great. The trailer for the movie is literally the last 30 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, I know.
It was like,
he's about to hit him, and then, like, you actually watch the movie, and the sewer thing comes around, just like in the trailers, and then cut to credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
With, like, marketable pop song over top of all of it, you know?
Yeah, but no, like...
Paul Giamatti just doing a terrible accent.
Oh, that's the best, though. He did not give a fuck, man.
He did not.
He was there for a paycheck, man.
He's like, do you have my money yet? No, you have to do one more scene. Fine, I'll give two scenes.
Give me the vodka.
Give me the vodka.
It helps with accent.
No, but the Spider-Man game looks fun. It does look like it'll be good. There's Days Gone, I think it's what it's called, or something along those lines.
The game?
Yeah, the game is called Days Gone.
It's like Naughty Dog, zombie, Far Cry.
Yeah, it's a zombie apocalyptic thing. They kind of combine the idea of, what was it, Dying Light? Type of idea with, Dead Rising. Like that mall one.
Yeah.
So, like, you get that open world feel of Dying Light, from the appearance at least, where you're running around and stuff. But it gives you more of a feeling of Dead Rising because you're more of a third-person view, not so much first-person. and stuff like that, and you can interact with things around you. Like, from the clips that I saw before, even E3, like, the little tidbits, like, there's a scene where, like, a guy, like, slides underneath a train, and then, like, a bunch of zombies bust through the train car and start coming at him, but, like, they overflow, so you see them tripping out of the thing and falling flat on their face and, like, falling on each other. He's just kind of gunning them down, and he's running and ducking through things, sliding, jumping over things. And it looks pretty fascinating.
Do you combine a rocket launcher with a
That I don't know. Like, you gotta realize I haven't seen too much of it.
Yeah.
So, like, from what I have seen, though, it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Like, I'm really wanting some more couch co-op games to start coming out, and I know that's a little bit harder to do, because online is the big rage nowadays. But, like, with Mac here, or McAvoy as you call him, he doesn't have an Xbox One, so him and I, we do a lot of couch co-op games together. Mm-hmm. So, and, like, we're starting to run out of those, which really sucks. But Xbox, I thought, did a good call by doing the backwards compatibility even further. But, I don't know, I think they should start tackling more popular games, but I guess that is also partially a me thing.
I'm split on the backwards compatibility issue. I've always been, like, kind of frustrated that they're pushing so much of their funding towards just making things back compatible.
Yeah.
When we're going to go one generation further, and then, like, that is also just going to be like, oh, we're also making this back compat. It's like, focus on new IPs. Give us reasons to pick up your console, you know?
Yes, in a sense, but, like, at the same time, like, I hate the fact that, like, those people who had those 360 collections, like, people who would buy, like, all the games that they enjoyed, and then you get a new console that comes out and you can't play them. It feels like a waste of money. But you can.
If you've got all these games, you've likely got the console that plays it. Just plug it in.
Well, within reason, but it also varies, because, like, with the backwards compatibility, you have that possibility of playing with people who are on the Xbox One, playing backwards compatibility as well. And other 360 people. Like, you have that option. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like that's why I said I'm split on it, because I think it's a good idea for consumers to just have this.
It's good and it's bad. Like, I feel some of the games... I don't know. Like, some of the games I don't feel they should be backwards compatible. Like, when the Rare Replay came out, like, it was great. Like, there's a bunch of games on it, like Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. Mac and I've gone through quite a few of those. But, like, they have Viva Pinata. Like, who cares?
Hey, don't knock Viva Pinata, man.
But no, like, my point is, like, yes, I get that that's a game for kids and stuff, which is fine. But they literally have, like, 3 versions of that game on the thing. It's like, why do you need so many?
No, my thing is, like, when they did... when they re-released Modern Warfare, that makes sense, where it's an online game where they're re-releasing it so that people can play it together, where...
Yeah, again.
But for most of the games, that's not a thing. Like, when they're re-releasing original Xbox games, 99% aren't online dependent.
No, that is...
And then it's like... And you can get Halo 1 in the Master Chief Collection, and that's not a problem. And it's like, there's very few other games that are like...
Some of them are more for nostalgia, in my opinion.
Yeah, but re-releasing them is only to get... I see it only useful to do online where more people are playing it.
Yeah, like, my opinion is, instead of, like... I agree with... Like, I do agree with Brennan and saying, like, backwards compatibility is also, like... There is a downside to it, yes. And I agree with your point of, they should honestly just re-release a lot of the games, that instead of making them backwards compatible, re-release them with more of an updated twist. Because there are some games that are from the original Xbox or the Xbox 360 that could be better and could use an online twist to it, or a multiplayer feature that they just couldn't, whether they didn't have the technology for it at the time or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not saying they have to do it with all of them, but, like, a re-release of some games would work.
I just don't want another console to live off like Nintendo is, where they're living in the past and they're relying on the past. And, like, of the Switch, 99% of the games that will happen on the Switch are from an original thing that are either... Like, that's why they're... Like, Nintendo, where they don't have a very good, virtual store to buy older games. Because, like, they're banking on old Zelda and, like, Metroid was a big thing in E3.
Yeah, Metroid 4.
They showed a fucking JPEG of the logo for Metroid 4 and everybody lost their shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
hasn't it been, like, fucking forever since the Metroid game came out?
Yeah, it's been a while.
And that's why everyone's losing their shit. It's like if they came up with an F-Zero game, a lot of people lose their shit just because it's been so long since they've released one.
Yeah.
That's more so where it is. And, like, I do agree with you where Nintendo does live in the past. They basically, this is how it is. They have their all-star lineup of Mario and Link, and then they got their their what the hell would you call them? Their ringer, which would be Pokemon or Pikachu. Just having him as a backup usually sells anything for Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, we'll throw Kirby and Yoshi in there because they're adorable.
Yeah.
And then they're like...
And then Sakurai comes in and he's like, you guys like Fire Emblem? Still more Fire Emblem in there.
Yeah, because, Fire Emblem hasn't been driven into the ground.
Yeah, they just have, they have their Smash Brothers, their Mario Karts, their Zelda, their...
Yeah,
and it's like they have, their 6 franchises that they could just have release one a year and just cycle through. And it's like... Pokemon's kind of on their own thing because they're a mobile game, but you could do your Mario, your Zelda, your Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario whatever, and it's just have.
I wonder if they're gonna come out with a new Mario Party.
The last 2 apparently were atrocious.
Oh, the last one for sure, on the Wii U, that was shit. That was so much shit. It was shit.
The last 2 were both there was no regular Mario Party level.
I want to set count how many different ways Nintendo innovates to simulate masturbation with their controllers. They've already got that going with 1-2 Switch where you milk the cow and it looks like you're jerking 2 dicks off.
Oh man, remember when we were playing on the Wii? It was Mario Olympics. Me and Conrad, we were always getting a really provocative stance purposely just to swim because it was all you would have to do is shake it back and forth to swim, and then you'd flick it right at the end to spin your guy and go back.
There was a shake the soda game and a
Mario Party.
I think
that one is just literally it's just shake your can and then you try to fit it. So we were just and there's
chomp wash,
and there's also the chomp wash where you're supposed to just scrub off a chomp. So we would just
that shit was the best to watch from an outside perspective
because it looked so fucked up.
Because it's just if you look at it, it's just like 4 dudes sitting playing Mario Party and they're all hunched over jerking it really fucking.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. And it's really funny because Mac and I do it it's usually one scrub off of you away from me winning it because we both start off we go and it's he'll either win it, he'll finish first or I'll finish first, but you can tell one more swipe and it was done. You're oh fucker. It's just really funny because then you kind of look at each other and go, you're really lonely, aren't you, buddy?
Well, that was the thing is our friend Conrad used to win every time. Poor bastard. And he would own it up to his
he fucking
I'm the king.
He was so happy every time he did it. He was always I'm so fast and stuff. And we're just wow.
Yeah. But
that guy.
As far as it comes to what do you call it? E3 stuff with Nintendo, I think I like what they've put out regarding their first party stuff. They're actually putting out DLC for the Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which is pretty cool because I think that's the first Zelda game to ever get DLC. Yeah. Not counting Hyrule Warriors because I don't count that as a canon.
That's not a Zelda game.
Technically, canon.
No, I wouldn't count. Hyrule Warriors isn't a Zelda game.
It's not mainline.
It's a fighting game.
It's a spin-off.
Yeah, it's a spin-off fighting game.
Yeah. It's a game in the universe.
Well, it's like the Dragon Ball Z game coming out, Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Yeah.
It is basically view Tekken or Street Fighter and just put the skins of Dragon Ball Z characters and that's what you got.
Yeah.
That's basically my immediate thought. Kyle sent me the video. He was oh, it looks so good and all this stuff. A, I'm going to kick his ass at it. B, my first thought was honestly great. I'm basically playing a version of Street Fighter with Dragon Ball Z characters. My opinion is what they did with Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 for the fighting, it really immerses you into that world. Because when you're in the tournament type thing, it's not a flat 2D screen fighting one side to the other. It is literally, you can fly around your enemy, get behind them, you can teleport and warp around and stuff. It's an actual fight. Not so much, I'm going to come at you, I'm going to jump over you. Hadouken! That shit's fucking stupid. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my fighting games. I like Injustice 2. I've been playing it. It's fun. I like my Street Fighter. I like my Mortal Kombat. I do like those games. It's just, there's certain games I expect that from. So if I see a Tekken game, I know what I'm expecting. If I see Soul Calibur, I know what I'm expecting. When I see Dragon Ball Z, I have a certain caliber that I expect from it. With the advancements they've made with Dragon Ball Z storylines, with their games, especially with, like I said, Xenoverse, it seems like a big step back, in a sense. They're adapting in the new stories for Super and stuff, because they got Gold Frieza in it. They got, I don't want to even get into Super. I haven't seen a single episode. However, I'm happy that they've proven that Gohan is badass again.
Yep.
Well, ish.
Gold Frieza, hey?
Well, yeah, that was his new form. Don't worry, Blue Vegeta. And Blue Goku. It's a whole thing. But, that's my whole thing is...
Gold Frieza.
Yes!
Is that his name?
Yes! It's Golden Frieza.
Oh my god.
Dude, do you know what his brother's name is? Cooler.
Yeah, I know.
Freezer and Cooler. Literally.
I get that. That's a pun.
So stupid.
It's like all the main characters of the series. Like Vegeta is a vegetable and Piccolo is pickle. Raditz is radish. But like Gold Frieza, like
that's a thing.
It's his name now. His name, first name Gold, last name Frieza. Like,
well, no, like
that's like calling me White Brendan, and then I turn red, and you guys start calling me Red Brendan, and I'm like a powered up.
No, you'd be Brendan the Red.
Yeah,
Brendan the Red. Yeah,
be like Gandalf.
But yeah, like it's just basically a version of Street Fighter with different skins on it. Cause like what, Goku's gonna do the Kamehameha instead of the Hadouken.
Yeah, I don't
like.
I mean, I'm not into the DBZ stuff really per se.
I know you're not a huge fan. Like I enjoy my Dragon Ball Z. That's just me. But like I played the old ones like Budokai and stuff like that on the PS2. That's the style they were. They were the 2D fighting, and it worked. Like they weren't the best games. They were entertaining. You enjoyed them. I always did this weird little thing where I'd go Super Saiyan 1 Gohan every time. After I beat somebody, I'd go Super Saiyan 2. Just that was my whole shtick. But like they've gone past that with Xenoverse, and it's like being like going into a VR game going, wow, this is great, and then someone going, okay, you can never touch that again. You're like stepping back, right? You get into that immersive world where you feel different. The gaming is just different, and then you step back into the 2D style, and it feels like you're losing.
I don't know. Maybe it's more complex.
It might be, and that's just it, right? Like I'm sure I'm gonna find out.
Yeah,
but
like if you've got a simple format of 2D fighting, you can kind of like expand on the systems involved with it.
Yeah, in a sense, like it is like Xenoverse is pretty. Like you build up your meter, you spend it by using your moves. Like depending, because you get I think it was 4 special moves and like an ultimate, and that was about it. But like you fill up your meter by fighting the guy, and each special uses X amount of your meter. So like you gotta like kind of plan it out in a sense. But for this, it would be more of like you could combo into it like people do with Tekken and stuff, where it's just combo hits and shit like that. And like I get that, but at the same time, like when you get those diehard people who literally sit there day in and day out, that also takes the fun out of the game, because like I've played games where like I go to fight somebody, I hit them once, and then I'm juggled until I'm dead, and it's like I literally couldn't do anything, and like that takes the fun out of it. And like I get people are competitive and people like having that competition. I have no problems with that. Hey, like I'm competitive when I play wrestling. It's a thing.
Yeah, that has more to do with like the matchmaking than the actual systems involved, though.
No, I know, but like it's also hard to tell if someone's been playing it for like who actually plays these games like that, who's going to like look into the moves, sit and practice till he can master these combos, and then going online. Like we don't know these things, right? And like that's the one fault I find with fighting games like this, like Tekken, like Mortal Kombat is. It is so easy to get juggled and comboed into something like that if you spend a lot of time into it. And like, there's a lot of casual gamers who pick up fighting games like that for like buddy-to-buddy things. Like, I know when we hang out with your brother and stuff, we have Soul Calibur, and that's our thing. We'll like hop between characters, we'll play against each other until we're blue in the face just because we switch it up. It's always different, it's always a fun competition. But we know our levels. But like, it's like Mac hopping in, playing against you or me or someone who's played it for a week. Like, Mac's gonna sit there, like, he doesn't like these 2D fighting games to begin with.
I'm atrocious at them.
Yes.
Like, literally, I had a Street Fighter, and I was, like, losing to easy, and I was just like, turn off, never play again.
I got that way with Mr. McDougal there. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I used to play Killer Instinct with him sometimes.
Oh, God.
And
he was a dick. I remember that, because it was here, you guys played it once.
Stupid good with his Jago, and it pisses me off to no end, because it's like, you want him to pick something else, and then he does, and you have like an okay thing, and then he just goes back to Jago, and you'll be doing kind of okay, and you know he's just fucking playing with you. He's like, come on, get a few hits in. It's like, that's no fun, you know? I know you're playing like shit because you're patronizing me, piece of shit. I'm good with Saber Wolf, I don't care what you say.
Like, and that's exactly it, right? Like, and it's kind of disheartening to have games like that, because you want to have a game where you have a chance, and if you feel like you're not going to have that chance right off the bat, it really takes you out of the fun of it, right?
So you're just hoping that they have the game be decent, but like the matchmaking service is really good.
I hope it's better in a sense, yeah. But like at the same time, like it's not strictly an online based game, right? It'll have its little story mode of sorts and stuff. But I think it's just, I don't know, with some 2D games, I expect only certain ones to have that, and that's it. Like, I guess I like my Dragon Ball Z having its open world like that because that's the story it has. But Mortal Kombat, I view it as a tournament, so I view that as a 2D fighting game, right? Like, Injustice, it has a story mode, but, like, as much as it could be cooler to have it more of a open world type thing, but they have their DC Universe Online already, which is similar to that in a sense. So it's a bit different, but it's neat because it's a different take on Mortal Kombat, right? In the case of you're actually superheroes competing against each other to prove who's better. So it gives you a different look.
Is that the premise for that? I thought it was just
Well, the first one was Superman gets pissed off because Joker kills Lois Lane and Metropolis blows it up. So
I hate
Superman...
comics. The crux of any big world-ending scenario is Superman was feeling bad that day.
No, Superman was pissed off about it, killed Joker. Batman was like, you can't fucking do that. And then Superman was arrested and the whole thing. And then Brainiac is coming to take over the world and destroy it. And the only person that can help Batman beat Brainiac is Superman and Supergirl. So he lets him up to help, and then Superman wants to kill Brainiac, Batman doesn't, and then you get to pick sides in the story. So you can either be with Batman to keep him alive type thing, or like spare him, or Superman kills him and just takes over the ship. So you get that option to choose, but at the end of the day, like, it's basically a fight between who's better, Batman or Superman, like any other fucking time.
Yep.
But it comes down to, like, even in the game, they have it where you can upgrade your character, in a sense, like put on different outfits and pieces.
Oh, you mean I could play dress up as Supergirl?
Yeah, pretty well. Literally. And you can put on her classic skirt outfit. She has a spare skin, which is, who is it? Not Miss Marvel. Oh, fuck.
Miss Marvel, yeah.
No, not Miss
Power
Marvel.
Girl.
Power Girl, that's it. With the big old
window?
titties. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get that outfit for her.
Yeah.
Captain Cold has a Mr. Freeze costume, so he comes out as Mr.
That's
Freeze.
why the Flash sucks.
The Flash comes out as Reverse Flash.
Yeah. Oh, I bet he comes out.
Oh, and Jay Garrick, which
Does he
is
come
the
out
original
as
Flash.
whoosh or zoom?
No.
Or other noises that running really fast makes? God, fuck the Flash. God damn.
There's a couple others that you can do that with that have different skins and such. But, like, Batman, like, there's some characters that you'll get items that, like, gear that's called Kryptonite, whatever. And the general premise is if you're on your character and you're playing the multiverse, which is, like, a version of Exhibition, in a sorts. If you're in the multiverse doing this, your Kryptonite will actually help you do more power against Kryptonians, which is basically Superman, Supergirl. So you can actually beef up your armor so you can be stronger against specific characters. Only in this multiverse form, though. It doesn't count into online. If it counted into online, I think it'd be a little much, because everyone would just slap on Kryptonite shit and be like, "Fuck Superman," you know what I mean?
Well, in that's the case, then it'd be like, where
no
like,
one would be Superman.
Like looking at the characters, be like, Harley Quinn. What chance does she have against any of these superheroes? Where Superman would literally just be like, dead. 1 second. It's just like, I'd blink once, throw you against the wall, and split you into 4 pieces.
This is why comics are bad.
Yeah, like...
Okay.
But and also, going back to your point about, about online and...
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, one-on-one fighting like that, it's so dependent on, you have to find someone similar skill than you. Whether it's like... In other types of games, like... I'm good. Okay. Like shooters and stuff, you have a place to hide.
Yeah, where you could have that.
Where you could do stuff and still put up a thing, but if a shooter was just one-on-one in combat, then it'd be... Or like even like For Honor, when they had the dueling...
Where it's one-on-one? Yeah,
where
that's fair.
Where it's like... That's the thing, where the whole point of that game is like, if you're fighting... It's impossible to fight someone who's drastically better than you and have a good match, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
just
right.
part of the game where if you're
try to drink both.
No,
you drink both monsters already.
No, I don't want to power too much on Monster.
Yeah, it's just a thing where that's just how it is with one-on-one fighting games. Is you have to be in similar level or
in words you might understand better. Get good.
Get scrub.
Get good scrub.
No, I was gonna say I was kind of excited over Monster Hunter World that got announced.
See, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of it, and like I've never played a Monster Hunter game, but I know you were really big into it. What's Monster Hunter really about?
It's
like, give us some context so I know exactly what kind of game we're looking at.
To preface, it is grindy as fuck in the long run.
Dark Souls.
No, like I'm talking like. You kind of got burnt out on Warframe because it was like, grinding for mats.
Well, no. I didn't get burnt out on Warframe. It's just like we played a lot right away. I had to wait some time, and then other things have come up, and I'm just playing other games like Friday the 13th. Like I still go back into Warframe every now and then, but like It's all like I've kind of gotten out of it a bit because like trying to play with you and stuff is like fine, but then it's like a lot of we got to do this, and this. All right, and then it's like, okay, let's do this, and it's like, wait, we gotta wait. It's like, what are we waiting for? And then it's like a lot of delays before we can get the stuff now.
But to get back to Monster Hunter,
yes,
like
sorry
you essentially you're grinding monsters to get parts from them to make better armor and weapons to fight stronger monsters essentially. And that's the crux of it, but it feels so good to play, and the whole premise of it is taking like Dark Souls style bosses and just doing nothing but that, and like upwards of 70 different kinds of bosses that you can fight.
See,
and it's just that fun. They're great games and they feel so good to play. It's just sometimes you can get kind of irritated with them because the drop chance for certain things in the late game is really low. And when you do get to that, you need like multiples of really hard to get things, and it just kind of gets frustrating sometimes.
It gets really grindy, and
but literally doing the same thing over and over until you get what you want.
Yeah,
it's Pokemon
to the point where you're organizing like speedrun parties just to get this one thing. That being said, they're coming out with like the first Monster Hunter for consoles. In years, man. I think the last mainline console
PSO?
Monster Hunter was Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, which is years ago, man.
Well, since we're on the Switch and we've already had a Wii U since the Wii,
it's not on the Wii. It's not on the Switch.
No, I mean we're on the Switch console. The Wii U is 2 consoles ago. Yeah. Yes, that is a long duration of time. But that's it.
I mean, I'm saying that like that's funny to me that like this new Monster Hunter is too advanced for the Switch.
Oh, really?
And it's like a Japanese property that's notorious for being a Nintendo game. It's on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One it's coming out for. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of excited for that because, like, Steven has always wanted to get into Monster Hunter. I wanted you to try Monster Hunter.
You know what? If it's going to be on the console, I'll be more inclined, especially if I can play with, like, you and your brothers. Like, you got to understand, for me, when I'm playing Xbox, like, if I'm not playing with people now, I really lose interest in games.
Yeah.
Like, unless it has a good story for it, I'm going to lose my interest.
Monster Hunter stories are not great.
Well, no, but,
I'll be playing with friends.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
That's just it. Like, what's a good way of putting this? Like, there's a couple games I've played, like, Kyle picked up Ghost Recon Wetland recently. Wildland, sorry. And, like, that's meant to be, like, a co-op game, but you can't play solo. And, like, playing solo, I've done it, I've completed a couple missions, but, like, it really takes me out of it. Because, like, it's meant to be played with people. So, like, I'm not that into the game because I'm on my own. Whereas, like, games that, like, don't need to so much, like Dark Souls, I can run through that on my own and I have no problems. The story's fine, the game is great. Shit like that. And I know I always go back to that, that's just one, but like the original Assassin's Creeds, I could run through those as fast as possible because I enjoyed the story behind it originally.
Yep.
I'm excited for the new Assassin's Creed coming up. Oh yeah, Origins? In Egypt? Fuck yes! In Egypt! Oh yes!
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. My big thing, there's a few places that I've always wanted to like hit in history for Assassin's Creed. Like I would love to end up in Greece for a part of it. But that's just because I like Greek mythology and stuff. And I've always like Egypt and their gods and stuff like that. That whole idea I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
So like being in Egypt and how it connects, I would love to see like running up a pyramid, shit like that, or like a pyramid mid-construction.
Yeah.
Like to see that would be fascinating. Like even just in game format would be sweet.
The Sphinx with a nose on it.
Exactly, with a nose, exactly, before the weather hit.
Oh.
Or like
and with Assassin's Creed stories, I guarantee you're going to be the reason the nose falls off.
Yeah, probably. You're going to like use it, hop off.
Because you can't possibly play an Assassin's Creed game without your character being the crux for everything important that happens in that fucking time.
Be like Aladdin where
actually not flying by and later in the games they don't get so much that you have to be so much about time. Like I haven't finished Syndicate yet. I should probably get on that before Origins comes out. But.
Yeah.
But like when I was like after the third one there, you don't really deal much with specific points in time.
I got really sick of that real fast.
No, I didn't like number 3 at all. I hated it. And like people can say it's the like me being racist all they fucking want. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the aspect of having to hunt for so much. They made so much
you racist.
They went to Native American with the fucking story.
Yeah. So why would they call you racist?
Because I'm blatantly saying the game was bad because it went native.
Oh boy.
Now, hear me out.
Don't come to Winnipeg, people. It's real bad.
No, this place is filled with
Do you like Far Cry Primal?
I was fine with the game.
Filthy Primal.
Primal was great. I enjoyed Primal. You got to tame beasts. You got to ride beasts. That was great. More than okay with that
just
game.
making a joke. It's fine.
Assassin's Creed, the reason I disliked number 3 for that purpose is you're going through the storyline as this one character. This one character's ancestry and all this stuff, which is fine. But they throw this wrench in the third one where, what is it? By end of chapter 3, it turns out the character you've been playing up till then in the story is a Templar. And his kid is the assassin you play for the rest of the game.
Okay.
That just happens to be...
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, with
Don't
the
remember a fucking thing about it.
Native American tribe. He ends up mating with somebody from that because the rape and pillage.
Is that really the first third of the game?
Yes.
Just like
at the end of sequence 3, you get one that you get a trophy that basically says something about lies because he has the assassin's blade, but he has the Templar ring on. And it's like this big twist in the story.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be coming down from Desmond's ancestry, and this, oh shit, his ancestor was a Templar, right? And it's this whole big wrench in the plan. But because they went into the Native American roots, they made it so much about hunting and skinning animals and all these side quests.
That was popular at the time, though. With
No, and I get that, but they strictly did that just to pander to the people. They didn't stick to the story. They killed off Desmond at the end of it and basically went fuck it on the entire franchise to finish it off. And since then, they've just been shoveling out shit that makes people happy. The thing that people liked from third that they made so apparent was driving the boat. So what they do, make one strictly about driving a boat. You know what was fucking bad? Driving the damn boat.
You talking about that was fun.
Yeah.
You want
for how long?
Sea shanties.
Yeah, to an extent, but the entire game is driving a fucking boat. It's not like fast traveling is hard as fuck in that game because you have to take your boat all the way to where you gotta go first. And they made the entire game about boating. Yeah. I got every achievement in that game, literally everything. Yeah. It was all about boating, and that was annoying. No, I loved it. I have no problems with having side quests that is, hey, go take over a place. Fine. But don't make the whole damn thing about that. That was my biggest quarrel with it. But that's also my issue with Unity afterwards. They pandered too much to trying to make it a multiplayer online co-op game. Yeah. That they actually lost what they were trying to build. Because they gave you 4 or 5 missions that you could do co-op-ish. And it was one or two that it's only 2 of you can do. And then there's 4 more that it's hey, you have to be in a group of 4 to do. And that was it. Everything else was all on your own anyway. So they didn't really pander to that. They could have just kept the online game that they had brought in with Brotherhood. Because that was fun. You picked who you were and you hunted down another assassin to kill. That was at least entertaining.
You know the thing about Assassin's Creed subtitles is they're so generic, you can tell me exactly which one you're referencing by saying it, and I still have no idea when the fuck it came out.
Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations 3.
You're hitting a brick wall here. It's splashing off, man.
Yeah.
I know. For those listening, after 3, it went.
So
that's when they split.
3 was the 5th game.
Yes.
Okay.
The idea, basically,
First Blood Part 2.
Yes, it was supposed to be a trilogy story. It was supposed to be a trilogy story. It was going to go 1, 2, and 3, but I don't know what the hell happened.
It's on point, man.
They just started throwing shit in there. So Brotherhood was all about building an actual assassin brotherhood and bringing it up. And then Revelations was bringing the connection between Altair and Ezio, which is the first and second game. It was bringing the gap in.
Yeah.
So that's what the 2 filler games were, and then third came out after that. When they finally went, hey, we have a story. And then it went Rogue. I think Assassin's Creed Rogue and Unity. Because one came out for the 360, one came out for the Xbox One.
I don't think it was Rogue.
It was something along those lines. I can't remember exactly right now. I didn't play it. Danny did. And then after Unity, they went Syndicate. And then they were like, hey, instead of releasing one every year, we should probably take a break and release it in 2 years. Yeah. Which is why we have Origins now. That looks phenomenal, and they actually improved.
Hopefully it comes out a finished product this time.
Yeah, not leggy as shit and with, hey, if you buy this, you'll get...
No, it's okay, because people give Ubisoft their money anyways.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Ubisoft money.
You know they got a $1,000 pre-order package out already?
For what?
For Assassin's Creed Origins.
They go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I know. There's
$1,000? What the fuck? You flying me to Egypt?
There's a statuette with a certificate of authenticity for the statuette.
Well, they got a whole sarcophagus they could bury yourself.
There's a stamp book and stickers and stuff.
No, I do it for the collectible statue and that's it. But I didn't even do that for Syndicate. Like, I've stopped because of the fact that Assassin's Creed has flopped.
You know,
I will state this live on this podcast. If Ubisoft, anybody from Ubisoft listens to this, make a good Assassin's Creed
one of
game.
The 5?
Yeah, there'll be one of the 6 people that listen. If they actually listen to this shit and they decide to, hey, make a good fucking game again, I will start investing my money in them again. Yeah. Until then, they can go suck themselves.
You know, we had this conversation, McAvoy, you and I, about pre-orders a little while back.
Yeah, that was like a couple of, it was on...
So I had something renew my hate for pre-orders recently.
Oh, renew? Renew?
During E3, they announced Evil Within 2, which is a game published by Bethesda. You're excited for it?
I didn't see much about it, but I heard about it, and I did enjoy the first one. I just didn't play the DLC for it, so I kind of want to pick it up again and nail that DLC out just to see. But otherwise, from what I understand...
By all means, I have nothing against Evil Within 1. It took a few turns in the plot that were kind of iffy. Yeah. And it was really buggy, which, that's Bethesda's fault. They didn't QA it properly. That being said...
You did play it, though?
No, I saw multiple Let's Plays of it.
Oh, you never played it, though?
No.
If I pick it up, would you want to try it yourself?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it.
No, I'm saying, like, if I got a disc version for, like, $15 and whatever.
Yeah,
just...
don't prioritize it, though.
I prioritize it for myself.
That being said, they announced it at E3, but people already knew it was coming out. You know how? Reddit ads leaked it.
Oh, I did hear about that.
And you know how they leaked it? Was pre-order was up before it was even fucking announced.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off to no end, man.
You could pre-order the game before it's announced.
Before people even knew it existed yet, you could pre-order it.
That's a company going, we need all the money we can get.
Yeah. It's putting your cart before the horse, my friend.
Yeah, pretty close.
And
holy shit.
So, involving E3, I'm not a huge fan of them, but their presentation had persuaded me under their umbrella. I've been playing a game called Enter the Gungeon for a while.
Yes, you play it so much. You get me to want to play it because I'm so curious about it.
It's fantastic.
I've never touched it. So.
It's just a little roguelike bullet hell game. You shoot and you pick up power ups.
Is it like co-op or just single player?
Yeah, there's co-op. There's couch co-op actually. Yeah.
Then I might pick it up for him and I.
Yeah, you guys can try it. It's fantastic. The publisher for it is Devolver Digital. They come out with all these little indie games, little pixel art stuff, and they're pretty popular for it now. But they did this E3, they rented out a slot for 15 minutes, and they didn't announce anything new. They showed trailers for, I think, 2 to 3 games that were already known to come out. They're already on their way to come out.
Yeah.
They didn't announce anything new. They basically took the entire 15 minutes to shit on all the other developers and how shitty their business practices are. They came out with, like, they start the thing with the typical CEO figurehead who's, like, comes out and she's like...
CEO hands?
Yeah, CEO hands, the tiny hands and, you know...
Pyramid?
Yeah. She comes out and the crowd is going nuts. And this is all pre-recorded, by the way. It's not an actual live audience. Yeah. She comes out, the audience is going nuts. She's trying to talk, they won't shut up. So she pulls a fucking Magnum out and starts unloading in the air, is like typical for their style of games to be crude and that kind of adult humor. The 15 minutes encapsulates a couple of different things where a man comes out and advertises a new utensil to stick on your TV so that when you throw physical money at the screen, i.e. Destiny selling their gestures, when you see these gestures, you'll want to throw your money at the screen. This guy comes out and says, aren't you tired of throwing your money at the screen and nothing actually gets purchased? Now with Devolver Digital's new, purchase program, you can take your fat dollar bills, y'all, and throw it right at the screen and get all of that sweet, sweet purchasables. And it's like, go on, throw that money at the screen. And it's like a guy in the audience like throwing it at a TV. And it like disappears and the guy is there reading a bank statement and like the publisher's getting more money. The guy like loses his arm inside the thing and like blood everywhere and shit. They get Suda51, who's the main force behind like Killer 7, No More Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw, all those like weird games.
Yeah.
He's a fairly popular developer these days. He wasn't so much back then. But he shows up. They're like, speaking of like early access, they're like, are you tired of like, all these early access games and you can't spend your money fast enough? Now with the Devolver Digital's new earliest access program, you can pay these designers the moment they think of these ideas. And it's like, it cuts to Suda51 in his fucking living room, and he's like, alright, Suda51 here with Devolver Digital. And it's like, what are we talking about again? And he's like talking with someone behind the camera, and he gets confused, he has no idea what's going on. It's like, get the fuck out of my home, what are you doing here anyways? Fantastic. It's like 15 minutes, and if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's
take a look.
they essentially shit posted at the E3 broadcasting.
Just cause?
Yeah, just to do what they do.
All right.
It was fantastic.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I heard a thing and they were talking. And it was like, or just what's at this day and age, what's the point really of having an E3, where
that is almost pretty accurate.
Where it's how much money are they spending, like for say Battlefront 2, which they had people playing and stuff. What's the point of spending all this money for this huge booth to have all these stormtroopers walking around and shit and stuff?
Spark up hype.
No, but like, why do that to fly all these people in to play your game when you could have a closed beta, give it to all those people, and get the same kind of response of them talking about your game, and spend 1/10 of the money?
It's a similar concept to like school pep rallies, I think, where you're more or less getting people in the moment and hyped up.
I could see like for the having like I was listening to something where people like the big companies like Bethesda and Microsoft and stuff have kind of like a quarterly type thing where it's like, this is what's happening for this quarter coming up.
Yeah.
And then that could be your hype session, but where it's not as big of a thing of like live gaming, where it just seems like it's an unnecessary step now that the internet's so rampant and easy to get to access.
You're telling me you don't see the advantage of renting out a community center to announce video games to news reporters, but also have a live musical performance for no fucking reason
that
not associated to the video game?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see the point in that?
No, I do not see the point in that.
Neither do I agree with you.
Yeah. I really thought you were going to be like, I want to see that performance!
No, actually, no, I'm actually pretty with you.
Yeah, where it's like earlier on, where it's like, this is the only way to get
all that information.
Or like to have people play your game early without giving them
the full
an actual copy, a physical copy of the game, and being like, this is the beta of the game, and being like, here, I'm sending it to you. But now where you could have a beta that's open, or a closed beta has a week or whatever, and then give the people that you want playing it a thing for it, and then those people can play it for a week, and then it closes after that, and then you get what you need without having to.
Yeah, you still get your discussion and everything
at a fraction of the cost, and then more people would be willing to play it. Where if you're like, do you want to go to Los Angeles?
That's a long ass fucking ring.
Not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed like it's a weird. Weird that it's still at this point.
I'm totally on board with you because I personally I don't watch E3 firsthand.
No, I don't either.
I can't because it's so embarrassing watching these fucking CEO people who have like no idea how to relate to people actually playing their games. Like they're up there and they're doing their CEO hand thing and they're spitting out buzzwords. There was one in particular that encapsulates how embarrassing it is, where two CEO figureheads come up and they try and like high five enthusiastically, but they completely miss, and then they play it off like it never happened. Yeah. I can't. It's so fucking. It's so fucking embarrassing. Yeah. I can't watch it. I turn into a little black hole in my chair and just like recede. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, and then also they're saying, I saw a thing where people were talking about I forget which company, they brought up like a YouTuber who like vlogs and shit. And they were doing a part of the presentation in front of a huge crowd, and just couldn't spit out their words.
Yeah, you've locked up.
Yeah, and it's just, what's the point of this?
It gets more audience member, or like people who might not have seen the show who watch that guy. It's like, oh hey, this dude.
No, but like they could have done the same thing and been like, you on your channel,
just talk about it. Yeah,
just talk about it. Pay him half as much and don't have to make them fly out across the country.
Yeah. That's with a lot of things. Like, they get people like us who are on podcasts to do the same exact thing, where they'll fly them out to discuss what's going on at
everybody buy Nintendo stuff. Nintendo, please send me their new system with the new games, please.
Please. I want to play Breath of the Wild. I'm so,
hold on.
I'm so tired.
Before we touch anything else, I need to do this because I want Brennan to rant, and I want him to really rant.
What are you talking about?
The Xbox marketing.
Oh, God. Why change it from Scorpio? It was perfectly fine.
The Xbox One X, a.k.a. the Xbox.
I hate it. I hate it. It's just a fucking name, but it drives me up the wall. It's the same vein of, like, I think the project name for the GameCube was, like, Project Dolphin, which would have been cool. Call it the Dolphin. I would have loved it. GameCube was fine.
GameCube was fine because it was like it was a cube that played games. It was legit.
I get it, and I mean I was young at the time, and I just kind of took it as what it was.
Right.
But finding out later that it was called Project Dolphin, I was like, that's cool. Yeah. Call it the Dolphin.
Yeah, no, like the Xbox.
But then some parents, some kid will go to a parent and be like, I want a dolphin for Christmas, and they'll be like, shut up, kid. Go away.
What gets me about Xbox is that.
Wait. Xbox or the Xbox One X? We gotta clarify. Are you abbreviating or not?
Multiple iterations of the same fucking system. To the point that Phil Spencer, the guy who's in charge of the Xbox division at Microsoft, has to fucking clarify on Twitter when he says OG Xbox that he means the original Xbox. Because if he called it the Xbox One, the canonical number of the system, the first Xbox, that he wouldn't... Is he talking about the Xbox One or the Xbox One? Gee, you don't fucking know. Clarify, Phil Spencer. Why'd you call it that? God, I hate it. And then they go from Xbox to Xbox 360, which you make a line and make a 360. It's a 0. So you go from Xbox One to 0, technically 360, but then you go right from Xbox 0 to Xbox One again. And then we go from Xbox One to Xbox One S, so we're going like Nintendo 3DS titles now. And then we're going from Xbox One S to Xbox One X, which is another Nintendo S title. But if you abbreviate it, Xbox, which is XB, 1-0, and then X again, it's just called the Xbox. So we've got the Xbox One, the Xbox O, the Xbox One, and then we got the Xbox One S, and then we got the fucking Xbox again. Like, just call it... Why can't we just do what Sony's doing with the PlayStation? They got it going.
Yeah, call it the Xbox One Pro.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they're going to come up with like the PS5 and then the PS6, and we're going to be like, I'm going to be dying on my deathbed playing the PS72, And
I'll love it!
And then
but there'll still be an Xbox.
Yeah, the guy next to me on his deathbed's going to be playing like the Xbox -1.
No, it'll be the original Xbox. It'll be called the original Xbox.
And and he's still playing games that came out 70 years ago back in like the original Xbox days. Because they're still fucking doing their back compat stuff, Scalebound still hasn't come out yet. God damn.
Alright, well, before we wrap up, I gotta ask. No random pervy topic for you this week?
No, I forgot it. I was talking with mutual friend Jared there for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And that guy he exhausted all my pervert talk out of me.
Did he?
Yeah. We were talking about like ex-girlfriends, and I was regaling to him that penis-sized conversation I had that one fellow.
Dude, just tell him listen to the podcast about it.
Oh, I told him.
Like, just because, like, you get a real feel for it. I've told a couple people to listen to it, because, like, that one I felt was a really unique one for us. Like, it really was different.
I told him to leave hate mail because I want at least one piece of it.
One hate mail.
Physical mail. I want someone to mail to my address.
I want to be surprised when I check it. Like, there's like, there's one comment, and it's like, go kill yourself. Like, yes!
I have arrived!
Yeah, no,
I am something.
No pervert stories on me. I talked with him, and he got all that pretty much out of my system. So I got to be charged for next week.
No, that's fine.
Come back full force with all the porn I've been watching.
Well, I told Mac you had to do one, but you had to like subtly do it, like Jeff Goldblum when he says,
"Life finds a way."
Yeah, life finds a way in Jurassic Park, because you know how it's just like life finds a way. So like every time you always bring up a sexual topic, you're always like really subtle about it. So it's like you're just gonna start it off with like flaccid penis.
Yeah,
just like really subtle.
No, I've been too involved with like E3 stuff to really keep up with all the stuff I've been looking at. Mostly just because it's kind of saturating media right now.
All right, well you know what? Then let's do this. Next week I'll come back with a couple more insiders from E3, a couple trailers we all looked at, maybe games we were intrigued for. Or whatever.
Is DSL actually going to be on this time?
I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, he was up when I left to come to record today. Whether, like, I'm kind of struggling to find his place here because he kind of wants to do strictly about games, and that's not what we're about. We're kind of about everything.
Obviously, because we talked about it for I don't know how long, and Mac was you were kind of checking out there for a moment. I feel bad about that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, like, you were talking about Assassin's Creed for... and then I was like... Ezio's a person.
Well, yeah, exactly, right?
Ezio, bitch, Ezio.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, we don't want that, right?
And then I just bring in my True Blood Part 2, and then that was about it.
Yeah, I don't know, like, we'll see about him.
Yeah, well,
maybe whoever happens to be listening, you'll hear him talk, and you'll understand why I call him DSL. You'll hear those shined up smackers as he talks.
Yeah, well, if you guys have anything you wish for us to discuss, hit us up on the Tomfoolery Pod at Twitter. Other than that, we will catch you next week.